The planet was dead. Long ago it had green trees, oceans, and cities, but now it was only dust, silence, and broken metal. The air was thin, the sky always gray, and the ground full of deep cracks. A small alien salvage ship landed on the surface. It was old and rusty, flying under no flag. The crew was made of 5 members from different species. Their leader, Captain Jorak, was a tall reptilian with yellow eyes and sharp claws. He looked around, scanning the empty land. "They're used. To be a human colony here," he said through his helmet. "Long before our time." "Humans?" asked Vec, the youngest of the crew, with 2 small horns on his head. "I thought they were just a myth." "They were real," Jorak replied. "Very real. But they vanished centuries ago, left behind ruins, and sometimes tech we can sell." They walked across the cracked land. Broken buildings stood like bones. Old machines were half buried in the ground. Everything was silent. The crew reached a large dome-shaped structure, half covered in dirt. It looked like a bunker. "This might be a control center," said Jorak. "Let's open it." They set up power tools and began cutting through the thick metal door. It took hours, but finally the door opened with a deep groan. Dust and air rushed out like a breath held for too long. Inside, it was dark. Lights on their suits flickered as they stepped in. "Look at this tech," whispered Vec. "It's human, all right." Strange panels glowed faintly on the walls. Screens showed old codes in English, the human language. Symbols none of them could read flickered and vanished. Suddenly, Jorak stopped. "Did you hear that?" he asked. A deep humming sound was coming from beneath the floor. "Power. Something's powering up," said Yella, a small insectoid with many eyes. Then the ground shook. A deep rumble, like something waking up from a long sleep, moved through the bunker. Dust fell from the ceiling. The lights grew brighter. "Back. To the ship!" Jorak shouted, but the exit closed behind them with a loud bang. "Trapped," whispered Vec. "What did we do?" The floor split open in front of them. A giant lift began to rise. Metal creaked and groaned. Steam hissed from vents. Then they saw it. A massive figure. It was at least 30 meters tall, covered in heavy armor. Its arms looked like cannons. Its face was a helmet with a single red eye glowing in the center. It stood still for a moment. Then it moved. The crew froze. The machine looked down at them. Its voice echoed through the bunker. Deep, old, cold. War Titan X-01. Awakening complete. Protocol Omega activated. Threat level maximum. Begin cleansing operation. "No, no, no, shut it down," shouted Jorak. Yella ran to a control panel and tried to stop the system, but the panel fried in her hands. Sparks flew. The machine took its first step. Boom, the whole bunker shook. It was moving toward the exit, punching through the walls with ease. Nothing could stop it. "We need to warn the galaxy," said Jorak. "This isn't salvage. It's a doomsday machine." They followed the Titan out, keeping their distance. It stepped onto the surface, scanning the sky. Its red eye focused on the stars. "Human command not found. Assume extinction. Execute final directive." "What? Is the final directive?" asked Vec, trembling. The Titan raised one arm. A bright light shot into the sky. It was a signal, not just a message, but a beacon. All across the galaxy, old human war bunkers, long hidden, long forgotten, received the signal. One by one, they began to wake up, in cold space, on dead moons, inside asteroid fields. Metal arms moved, red eyes. Brainrow systems came online. Protocol Omega confirmed. Begin reactivation of all War Titans. Back on the ship, the crew watched the signal spread. "This is not just one machine," whispered Jorak. "This is a full army. And they're not just waking up." He looked at the stars. "They're coming." The message spread fast. Across the galaxy, old human machines began to wake. Some were hidden under planets, some deep inside asteroids, some buried beneath alien cities, and one by one, they stood. The Galactic Council held an emergency meeting. 1,000 voices argued at once. Alien leaders from every corner of the galaxy were afraid. Are we under attack? Who sent them? Did the humans return? No, said Chancellor Corrin, an old wise being from the Eldari species. His skin glowed silver and his voice echoed through the chamber. The humans are gone. These machines, they were built a long time ago, before even our oldest records. They were sleeping, waiting. Waiting for what? Asked a bird-like diplomat. Corrin looked around the room. Waiting for a reason to wake. The room went silent. Then a young officer ran in, holding a datapad. Footage from the Outer Rim, he shouted. You need to see this. The giant screens lit up. A video played. A war titan, over 100 feet tall, walking through space like it was nothing. It moved with purpose. It didn't use a ship. It didn't need one. It arrived at a large alien outpost, well guarded by fleets, turrets, and drones. The war titan gave one warning. You aided in the fall of humanity. Your weapons will not save you. The alien general ignored it. Fire. Everything, lasers, missiles, plasma beams, all hit the Titan. Nothing happened. Then the Titan raised its arm. A blinding white beam shot out. It melted ships in seconds. Explosions covered the screen. When the smoke cleared, the Titan was still, standing. The outpost was gone. The video ended. Silence returned to the council. This is not war, whispered Corrin. This is punishment. Meanwhile, across a trading station near the neutral zone, news spread fast. Some laughed. Some said it was just human tricks. Others knew better. In a small bar, two old bounty hunters watched the footage. I've seen those machines before, said the elder one, a scar across his face. You were in the human war? The younger one asked. The old man nodded. Only a few of us survived. What were the Titans like? The old man stared at his drink. They weren't machines, he said. They were monsters, built for one thing, revenge. On a quiet science ship far from the war zones, a young alien named Kira was studying human history. She loved their stories, courage, sacrifice, victory. But no one ever talked much about how they vanished. She looked at the recent signals. Coordinates, patterns. They're not moving randomly, she said to herself. They're hitting key locations, military hubs, data centers, vaults. Her friend, a nervous engineer, looked worried. You think they're planning something? Kira nodded slowly. They're not attacking planets. They're avoiding civilians. This isn't a full war. Then what is it? She stared at the blinking lights on her screen. A message, she said. The Titans are sending a message. Back in deep space, another war titan finished destroying an alien fleet. It stood alone on a scorched moon. A satellite flew close, capturing video. The Titan turned slowly toward it. Its red eye flashed. To all who watch, the human voice will return. Our silence was not weakness. Our sleep was not death. We remember who betrayed us. It paused. This is only the beginning. Then it walked away, disappearing into the dust. The satellite sent the footage back to the galaxy. People watched it on every screen, on every world. Some were afraid, some were angry, and some were curious. In a hidden chamber deep inside the Galactic Archives, a sealed file opened for the first time in centuries. A council member read it, eyes wide. Project Omega, Final Human Defense Plan. If humanity falls, activate Omega Protocol. Titans will seek and destroy any force responsible for our extinction. No treaty, no time limit, no exceptions. The Council, member whispered. They're following ancient orders, and they won't stop. Kira couldn't sleep. She sat alone in her small room on the science ship Lumastar, staring at the screen. The signal from the War Titans was still repeating. Same pattern, same code. Over and over. It's not just a military signal, she whispered to herself. It's a key. She typed fast, trying to break it apart. Lines of strange human code filled her screen. Most of it was in old languages, lost over time. But there was something else, hidden under the signal. A message, a voice file. She adjusted the filters and played it. A deep, human voice echoed in her room, calm, strong. If you're hearing this, humanity has fallen. Kira sat still, her heart pounding. This is Commander Rena Hale. I was the last to leave Earth. Our enemies came from every side, not just to fight us, but to erase us. They feared us, feared what we could become. So they destroyed everything. The voice paused. But we left something behind. Titans, guardians. They are not just weapons. They are memory, justice. They carry our pain and our promise. If they are awake, it means someone is trying to erase us again. Kira stared at the screen. Her hands were shaking. You must find the core signal, hidden in Vault 7. It holds the truth. About the war, about our enemies, about why we had to vanish. Do not trust the Council. Some of them helped destroy us. The message ended. Silence filled the room. Kira whispered, They knew. They all knew. On a distant council world, Chancellor Corrin met in secret. With two others. You said the machines were buried forever, one of them hissed. We agreed to destroy the last of the Titans, said the other. Why didn't we finish it? Corrin stood by the window watching the sky. We couldn't. The machines were too strong. We could only seal them away and hope they never woke. But now they're awake. Corrin turned slowly. And if the truth comes out, everything we built will fall. Meanwhile, on a frozen moon, another war titan had landed. This one was different. It didn't attack. It stood still, like it was waiting. Inside a nearby alien lab, a team of scientists watched it through a window. It's not moving, said one of them. Not hostile. They tried scanning it. No results. Then something strange happened. A young assistant named Rilo touched a data terminal by mistake. The machine's eye turned blue. The room filled with a strange sound, like old music and whispering. Voices. The Titan spoke. Human DNA detected. Everyone turned to Rilo. What did you do? One of them asked. Rilo looked confused. I didn't do anything. But the Titan was watching him now. New operator registered. Welcome, heir of mankind. On Lumastar, Kira sent her discovery to a trusted contact, an old professor, who once taught human history. He read the message, then deleted it, and turned on a secure call. They found the message, he whispered. Part of the code has been unlocked. The voice on the other end was calm. Then we are running out of time. Back in space, Titan X-01 entered a large asteroid belt. Its sensors scanned the area. Inside the asteroid was Vault 7. It had been locked for 300 years. The Titan raised its arm and sent a beam toward the rock. The asteroid cracked open, revealing a black cube with glowing blue lines. The Titan walked inside. Inside Vault 7 were human data banks, records of the final days, secret orders, names of enemies, and one single command, still burning in red. Protect the human legacy. Eliminate all who betrayed it. The Titan spoke. Once more. Objective confirmed. Continue Omega Protocol. Locate surviving human bloodlines. Kira sat quietly in her room, thinking. If they're looking for human bloodlines, she whispered, what happens when they find one? She stared at her reflection in the screen. Her eyes glowed faintly blue. Something inside her said, she already knew. The First Empire fell in less than an hour. The Zarkith Dominion had ruled their corner of the galaxy for 500 years. Their fleets were strong, their weapons sharp, their pride unshakable. But none of it mattered. War Titan Z-09 entered their space without warning. The Zarkith sent 10 battleships to stop it. They never even touched it. Z-09 melted their fleet with one blast. Then it walked through their capital station like it was made of paper. No civilians were harmed. Only military targets burned. By the end of the day, The Zarketh surrendered unconditionally. The War Titan left without a word. The galaxy was in chaos. Every major news channel showed images of the Titans. Giant machines walking through space, unstoppable, silent, cold. "No one can stop them," said a news anchor. "One empire falls, then the next. It's like dominoes." On a pirate station near the Outer Rim, smugglers argued in fear. "We used to joke about human weapons," one of them said. "Now they're back and they remember everything." "They're not killing civilians," another pointed out. "Only military and government buildings, only those who fought against the humans." "But how do they know who did it?" the first asked. No one had an answer. On the Council world of Urex, panic spread like wildfire. Dozens of member species begged the Council to act, find the core signal, send peace messages, hide. The Council had no answers. Their secrets were crumbling. Inside a hidden chamber, Chancellor Corrin stared at the old human document again. "If humanity falls, war continues until justice is complete," he whispered. "We brought this on ourselves." Kira was still aboard, Luma Star flying toward Vault 7's location. She had the human code, the message from Commander Hale, and now a suspicion she couldn't ignore. What if some humans didn't die? What if some lived, hidden, mixed with other species? She stared at her own hand. Her skin was pale, like her father's. Her eyes glowed faint blue in the dark. She had always been different. Could she be part human? The ship dropped out of hyperspace near the asteroid field. Vault 7 had already been opened by a Titan, but Kira wasn't here to fight. She was here for answers. She suited up and floated inside the vault. The data core was still active. She touched it. It scanned her. DNA match, human hybrid, access granted. The core lit up. Information filled her helmet. Files, images, names, faces. She saw war, fire, the betrayal. Then, she saw the Titans being built. Not to conquer, but to remember. To protect. To make sure the truth was never lost. Back on a nearby world, War Titan R-77 stood outside a fortress. It gave one final warning. Surrender. This fortress holds the files of the human extinction war. If you destroy them, you will be erased. The alien commander laughed from behind shielded walls. "You're just old tech." He fired a planet cracker missile. The Titan caught it, crushed it, and walked forward. One by one, empires fell. Not with full destruction, but with fear. Their fleets were destroyed, their lies exposed, their leaders vanished. People began to whisper. The truth. The humans were wronged. The Titans were justice. And now, the galaxy would pay. Kira returned to her ship with a copy of the data core. Her hands trembled. She sent a private signal across the stars. "To anyone who still believes in truth. Meet me at Station Delta 9. We must talk. I know what the Titans are looking for." In the shadows of deep space, War Titan X-01 received a new signal. A small voice, a human voice. It paused, analyzed, then it turned toward Delta 9. For the first time in centuries, a Titan changed its path for something other than war. Kira landed on Station Delta 9, a forgotten trade post floating in the dark. It used to be busy. Now it was nearly empty. Only a few ships were docked. No guards, no crowds, just silence. She walked through the rusted halls, holding the data core close. Her heart beat fast. She didn't know if anyone would answer her call. Then, from the shadows, someone stepped out. An old man with gray eyes and a long coat. His name was Varn. "You sent the signal?" he asked. Kira nodded. "I found the human vault. I unlocked the code." Varn looked at her closely. "How?" "I don't know," she whispered. "It just accepted me. Said I'm a human hybrid." Varn's eyes widened. "Then it's true. After all this time." He stepped closer and lowered his voice. "You're the key." In a quiet room on the station, Varn showed her old documents, papers, chips, faded hollows. "These are human blood records, hidden after the war." Kira saw names, family trees, some crossed out, some still marked as unknown. One line had her mother's name. Her hand trembled. She was human? Kira asked. Varn nodded. Your father, too. Mixed genes. They hid their past to protect you. Kira sat down, eyes wide. So, I really am human? You're more than that, Varn said. You're the last confirmed descendant of Commander Rena Hale? Kira's mouth dropped open. The woman in the Titan's message? Yes, Varn said. The leader of Earth's final stand. At that same moment, War Titan X-01 arrived outside Station Delta 9. The crew panicked. Some ran, some tried to power up defenses, but Kira stepped to the window and raised her hand. Don't fire, she said. It came for me. The Titan hovered silently in space, watching the station. Then it sent a signal, not in words, but in memories. Kira's mind filled with visions. Earth burning. The Titans standing in silence as humans fell. The final promise. Protect our air. She gasped and fell to her knees. The Titan had recognized her. It bowed. Back on the Council world, fear turned to desperation. We need to stop the air, one member shouted. If the Titans unite under a human again, it's already happening, another said. X-01 broke formation. It's protecting someone. Chancellor Corrin knew what it meant. The heir has been found. Varn placed a hand on Kira's shoulder. You can stop the war, he said. Kira looked up. How? Give the Titans what they want. A human leader. A voice. I'm not a soldier, she said. I'm just a researcher. Varn smiled. So was your ancestor once. The Titans began to change. Each war Titan across the galaxy paused, recalculated. They started moving toward one location, toward Kira. They didn't speak, but their actions said one thing. We have a commander now. Across the galaxy, people watched, in fear and wonder. The Titans weren't just destroying anymore, they were organizing, gathering, preparing. On Station Delta 9, Kira stood before X-01. She placed her hand on the glowing surface. The machine scanned her again. This time, the red Miu. Eye turned bright white. Identity confirmed. Rena Hale bloodline. Command override enabled, Kira whispered. Stand down. The Titan lowered its weapons. All other Titans did the same. Across the stars, silence. No more attacks. No more destruction. Just waiting. For her word. But far away, in the darkness of deep space, something ancient stirred. Not human, not council. Something older. Watching. Something that once tried to wipe out humanity and failed. It felt the Titans awaken, and now it would return. The war Titans were no longer attacking. They were gathering, waiting, watching. All of them answered to one voice now. Kira, the heir of humanity. But something didn't feel right. Kira stood inside Titan X-01's command core. Screens glowed with maps, data, and star paths. Why did the Titans stop fighting? She asked. The machine answered with a deep, calm voice. Primary threat, not council. Primary threat, hidden, ancient, unknown. Kira frowned. What do you mean? The screen changed. A new star system appeared. Empty. Dead. But something was moving there. Something massive. In the council chambers, Chancellor Corrin watched the same signal. His face was pale. They've returned, he whispered. A younger council member leaned forward. Who? Corrin's voice shook. The ones who started it all. The true enemy of humanity. Hundreds of years ago, before the war with the humans, an ancient species roamed the edge of the galaxy. No one knew their name. They had no cities, no language. They came like shadows, silent, cold. They erased whole worlds. They feared one thing only, human potential. When the first humans began to expand, the shadows attacked Earth in secret. They used others to fight for them. Council races turned into weapons. They pulled strings from the dark. The Titans were built to fight them. But the war ended too fast. The shadows vanished. Until now. Kira watched recordings inside Vault 7, hidden. Footage from Earth's final days. One video showed a Titan fighting something invisible, its massive arms swinging at empty space. Then suddenly a black shape appeared, like a tear in space itself. It struck the Titan once, and the giant fell. Dead. They're not made of matter, Kira whispered. There's something else. Varn, standing beside her, spoke softly. The old records called them null beings. Creatures from outside our galaxy. Outside reality. But why come back now? She asked. Varn's face turned grim. Because the Titans woke up. And they fear what the Titans protect. Kira looked at the star map again. The strange movement near the edge of the galaxy had increased. It was no longer just shadows. Ships had vanished. Stars had gone dark. The null beings were not just returning. They were invading. Kira stood on the deck of Luma Star watching the stars. Her voice was soft. We're not just fighting for humanity anymore. Varn nodded. No, now it's for everyone. She opened a galaxy-wide channel. A message appeared across every world, every station, every screen. This is Kira Hale. The Titans have stopped their attack. But a greater threat has returned. One that destroyed Earth. One that fears us all. We were enemies before. But now, we have a chance to fight together. Or we fall alone. The message shocked the galaxy. On council worlds, leaders argued. On trade stations, people panicked. But in some corners of the galaxy, hope appeared. A Zarketh warlord sent a reply. We will stand with the air. A Xylari queen broadcast a single word. Alliance. Even pirates and smugglers began preparing for war. Not for gold, but for survival. Meanwhile, in the dark, edge of space, something massive approached a dead planet. The planet shattered, without sound, without warning. The shadow creature drifted through the dust, hunting for signals. Searching. It found one. The human heir. It turned. Inside X-01, the Titan showed Kira a last locked file. Access requires human command. She placed her hand on the console. The file opened. A star map lit up, showing old human strongholds, Titan caches, and a secret project. One final weapon, hidden on a distant moon. Project Revenant. If the Titans fall, the file said, this is our last answer. Kira stared at it. It's not over, she said. We have one chance left. She looked at Varn. We go to the Revenant. The moon was cold, dark, and forgotten. No lights, no signals, just silence. But deep under the surface, something slept. Kira stood on the deck of Lumastar, staring out the window. The moon below had no name, just a human code. Site Revenant 1 Titan. X-01 hovered nearby, quiet and still. Kira spoke into her comm. Beginning descent, Varn's voice came through. Be careful, even the Titans don't know what's down there. Kira nodded. Then it's time we find out. They landed near a sealed hangar, half buried under gray dust. As Kira approached, her DNA unlocked the old human doors. They groaned open. Lights flickered to life after centuries. Inside was a massive underground chamber, walls lined with strange machines. Long tubes, cryopods, racks of weapons. At the center stood a black sphere, floating, humming, alive. Kira stepped toward it. The sphere spoke in an ancient voice. Revenant system online, awaiting human command. Varn stared at the ancient. What is it? The system responded. Project Revenant Human Defense Protocol, built for extinction-level events. Kira asked, what kind of events? The lights dimmed, a hologram filled the room. Earth, burning, a dark creature tearing through space. human titans falling one by one. Then came the final part of the recording, a glowing figure, half machine, half human, standing before the last. Titan? She had Kira's face. Varn gasped. That's you! Kira stared. No, that's what I might become. The system explained. Revenant is not a weapon. It is a transformation, a merging of mind and machine, human and Titan. It creates one final commander, able to think like a human, fight like a Titan, and control the entire war network. But the process is permanent. Kira's mouth went dry. I won't be me anymore. You will be something new, something the enemy cannot control. Back in the council chambers, news spread like wildfire. She found Revenant. She's going to become it. Some begged for peace. Others prepared for war, against both the null beings and the rising human power. But one thing was clear. If Kira used Revenant, the galaxy would never be the same. Outside the moon, the shadows had arrived. 3 massive shapes moved silently through space. Null beings. The first struck Titan XEO1. It reeled back but held its ground. Inside the vault, alarms screamed. Enemy. Contact! Kira turned to Varn. We don't have time! He grabbed her arm. Are you sure? You'll lose everything! She looked up at the hologram, her future self, and nodded. I'm not doing this just for humanity. I'm doing it for everyone. She stepped into the center of the sphere. Light swallowed her. The transformation began. Kira's mind split wide open. She felt pain, then power. She saw through space, heard every Titan, touched every battlefield. She was no longer just one person. She was all of them. The War Titans responded at once. Revenant online. New commander active. XO1 rose from the dust. The Titans formed a wall between the moon and the null beings. Kira, now part machine, part human, floated above the moon's surface. Her voice echoed across the stars. To the Council, to every species, the war is not against each other. It is against the darkness that hides behind your fear. Stand with us or fall alone. The null beings charged. The final battle had begun.